Hi guys, welcome to the Sleep Well Feel Better webinar, and this is all about how to help support you with your sleep. My name is Claire Elms. I'm an emotional wellbeing consultant, therapist and life coach, and I'm here today to take you through how to help yourself when you're thinking about your sleep. So you are here because you want to improve your sleep. So you or someone you care about may be suffering from some of the following symptoms. You might be struggling to go to sleep. You might be waking in the night and unable to return to sleep. You might be waking really early and you can't get back to sleep, and you then feel really tired, lethargic, exhausted until you make. You might be extra snappy with friends and family or colleagues. You might have poor memory or being unable to concentrate. And you might be worrying about your sleep. So you go to bed thinking that you can't sleep, and then you worry that you're not sleeping, and then it perpetuates and makes your sleep worse. So if you stay to the end today, you'll hear a really special announcement which is going to really help you to get on top of your sleep and really help you make some changes. And so stay in touch for that. But I wanted to talk to you today about what sleep is, so that from the end of today you can understand what sleep's all about, why you're going through this at the moment, and awareness into what your problems that you're struggling with and what changes you can make better. So I want you to prioritise your sleep and take action today. So the idea is to sleep better and feel better, because quite often when we're struggling with our sleep, it's we don't feel great either. So actually by improving our sleep, we really help to make changes for ourselves. So my name is Claire Elms, as I said. I am the founder of a company called Inspire You. So my business is built on empowering people to work through traumatic events, their mindset, regulate emotions, gain clarity, and develop a routine. So I've been working with people since sort of 2008, 2009, really helping people to shift their mindset, using lots of different approaches. I'm trained in various modalities such as CBT, EMDR, which is a trauma-based approach. I'm also a play therapist and a life coach. And I've got loads of other things that I can offer, so things like DBT and REBT. So basically, I've been working alongside people for a long time, and it was last year. My plan was, before COVID even happened, my plan was to really help people online, and I wanted to get a presence online. So yeah, the last year, obviously the whole world got flung into the online world last year. So it's been an interesting learning experience for me, but I really love helping people to make changes and tap into their potential to get better with everything that they do. So what we know is that by shifting people's mindset is 80% of the battle. Once we've got a good mindset in place, the rest of the stuff kind of follows through. So I used to suffer from sleep problems myself. I used to average about 4 hours sleep a night, and I did that for years, and I just thought that that was how it was, and I just wasn't a sleeper. Now I get about 6 hours minimum at most nights. So it really is possible. And you know, when we do the training in all these different approaches, we do them on ourselves. That's how we learn and develop and grow in ourselves. So by doing it myself, I've really helped myself, and I really want to be able to help you. I've spent so many years working on the causes of sleep issues. And I guess sort of through lockdown and various different things that have happened over the last year, it's really become apparent that a lot of people are really struggling. So it was something that I wanted to learn more about. So I've really trained in learning CBTI, which is CBT for insomnia, which is a science-backed approach. I'll tell you all about it in a bit, but it's really passionate. I'm really passionate about helping you actually resolve the sleep, as well as resolving the other issues that are impacting on your sleep. So yeah, so stay tuned, bear with me, my throat is still croaky from last week. For those of you that are on Facebook, I did a free 4-day sleep challenge last week in my Facebook group. So after this, I'll make sure that you've got the details to that. Bear with the croaky voice, because it is I was full of cold last week. It was the first cold I'd had of the winter, and it was typical that it was when I was running something like this. So bear with me, my voice isn't normally this croaky. But I really wanted to help you this sort of now, really, because I know that so many people are struggling with things, and sleep can feel really overwhelming and relentless, and it can make so many other things feel worse as well. We've had times like the roller coaster, Groundhog Day have been bandied about. I'm sure everyone can relate to the highs and lows that have been going on in the current situation. You're feeling social media ready to then feeling that you can't even get up. We're all using our bedrooms and our beds to work, eat, sleep, think, and just be. So the bedroom space has really shifted. I don't think I've ever been in so many people's bedrooms that I have been recently on Zoom calls. So, we're often less active as well at the moment, sitting at computers on Zoom, Teams, and Skype meetings for hours on end. And because everyone is going through this experience, we haven't really taken stock of what's actually going on. We've had a massive loss in our routine, and our structure. We've become more socially isolated. We've had to adapt and change to constantly evolving society, all within the backdrop of this deadly virus. So how we've even still managed to function day to day has been a miracle, right? So, it's really important when we're thinking about the current situation and how that impacts on our sleep as well, because it has made a big difference. And so many more people that are coming to me are talking about having sleep issues. I wanted to think a bit more about what sleep is as part of this process. So, obviously, sleep's a construct. It's something that we've developed and created, and how much we need varies from person to person. I think there used to be a big system about how it used to be like you need to have 8 hours sleep, but that's not kind of strictly true. Everybody's different. Some people need 5.5 hours, some people need 9 hours, and it's kind of finding your optimum window of sleep to work out how much you need. And it's all relative to thinking about whether you're a night owl or an early bird. Some people like to get up really early, some people like to go to bed really late. And so, quite often, if you're not in balance with that, that can cause a lot of shift as well and a lot of difficulties. So, for me, I'm a night owl. I can't imagine like going to bed before 10, half 10, 11. Whereas like I know some people that are early birds that naturally want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. So, you need to look at understanding where you are in terms of whether you're an night owl or an early bird will help you to kind of understand your sleep setup and what's optimum for you. I wanted to talk about insomnia, because insomnia is the sleep problem that most people do have, and that is really treatable with the CBTI approach. So, and a lot of us don't think we've got insomnia. I know I would never have diagnosed myself as having it. So the definition of insomnia is that you struggle to fall asleep for more than half an hour, or you struggle to maintain your sleep. And it has impaired daytime functioning. So you struggle to do tasks, and it's occurred for at least 3 months. So that is quite a short definition, and it's something that a lot of people can relate to. As many as 1 in 10 people are classed as suffering from insomnia, and 1 in 4 having issues with sleep. So it's a massive problem. People having sleep issues, and I guess it's something that we wouldn't go to the GP for. We'd kind of just like muddle on and just put up with it. It's something that most people wouldn't necessarily see as a priority in sort of. So I guess I wanted to think about your triggers. So do you know why you can't sleep? So some really common triggers are things like anxiety and overthinking. So like that really struggling to switch off at the end of the night, and overthinking different problems that we have, trying to find solutions in the bed. Having depression, chronic pain, trauma, stress, parenting. There's so many triggers, isn't there? Especially at the moment, and COVID is a massive trigger for a lot of people as well. So you might have just had a light bulb moment, you're actually suffering from insomnia and not actually connected that is the case. There are so many different treatments out there, all claiming to be really quick fix, and it can feel quite overwhelming. I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of people will Google, how to improve sleep or whatever. You might have been advised to try sleep hygiene. which is things like avoiding caffeine and alcohol before bed, making sure you've got a good wind down routine, such as a warm bath, CDs, etc. You know, believe me, I've tried it all, and some of it doesn't work, and some of it's worked a little bit. You know, it's about kind of looking at what you need to do to help yourself. And sleeping tablets. You know, did you know that melatonin is one of the most often prescribed sleeping tablets, and it makes very little difference for those suffering from insomnia. So a lot of people come to me and say, oh, you know, I'm on melatonin for my sleep. Is it making any difference? Well, no, not really. So it's about really unpicking everything for yourself and looking at what's going on for your sleep, and then we can look at like a real clear treatment program. So CBTI is CBT for insomnia. It's a science-backed, evidence-based insomnia intervention for sleep issues, which might be caused by things like trauma, anxiety, depression, chronic pain, brain injury, and nightmares. It focuses on the connection between the way we think, the things we do, and how we sleep. So we identify the thoughts, the feelings, and the behaviours which are blocking from being a good sleeper. So quite often we have the thoughts, I know I had things like, you know, I'm just a sleeper. It's something that other people have, and that I've always been a bad sleeper. You know, things like just general kind of things that we struggle with when we think about sleep, you know, and the more we think about those things, then the more we struggle with it. But by bringing it into our awareness that we are thinking those thoughts and they're not factual, you know, like I can only have 4 hours sleep was another one of mine that I always used to have. And by bringing them into our awareness, we can actually shift those, and we shift them by changing those thoughts. So actually everything starts with our thoughts. So if we can change those thoughts, quite often everything else follows through. And also changing the behaviours. So combining something called stimulus control and sleep restriction to promote better sleep habits. I'll talk to you a bit more about that at another point. But there's things like, you know, changing our behaviours for sleep. So, you know, there's loads of different things in that approach. So that is a little bit about what CBTI is all about. So I want you to sort of take a moment just to think about what the future you would look like if you could just sleep. So what have you lost because of lack of sleep? What choices would be different if you could just sleep, and how would you be? There is a recording in my Facebook group around a future you visualization. I was tempted whether to put it in here today, but I'm not going to rush it in here. It's about 10-15 minutes, so it would be great if you had a couple of minutes to just kind of sit and be and just relax a little bit. Get yourself into my Facebook group and have a listen to this future you visualization, because it will really help you to start to think about what future you would look like who was just able to get. I know I used to say things like, just get 4, 5, 6 hours sleep, I would feel fine. So, you know, all of those things are really important. So, you know, really focusing on what future you would be like will be massively beneficial. What we also know is that, like, by manifesting, thinking about what future you would be like, you kind of manifest it, and you can start to create a link that it could be different. It doesn't have to be. So what I want you to do today is to really have some real clear takeaways of things that you need to know to help improve your sleep. So to improve your sleep, you need to be aware of 3 different processes. So you need to be aware of the circadian body clock system, which is our body's way of working out time of day. So we do lots of things around routines, timing of sleep and wakefulness, having regular bedtimes and rise times, and regular light exposure. We help to kind of set that body clock. I'm sure you've all kind of heard of that process. When we don't have this, it's called we create what's called social jet lag. And social jet lag is where our body gets basically really confused. A bit like, you know, if you go on a plane and you travel to a different time zone, it struggles to know what time of day things are. So it struggles to know when the right time for going to sleep is. So by creating sort of regular bedtimes and rise times, we create that body clock to work out what time we need to be in bed for. So the second point is our homeostatic sleep drive, and that is how ready we are for bed. So the amount and quality of our sleep depends on how tired we are at the end of the day. So if you imagine like a balloon filling up through the day, and the more activities you're undertaking, the more things you're doing, the fuller the balloon is getting. So then when you go to bed at a normal time, you haven't done napping and you haven't had excessive time in bed, that's when your sleep drive is ready for bed and you feel sleepy. But by doing things like napping during the day, it releases some of the balloon. So therefore, when you're then ready to go to bed, you're tired. So that's sometimes when you feel tired and feel a bit sleepy, but then you get into bed and you're not quite that tired. So the third point is about our arousal system, which is where we've trained our body sleeping. And this is something that we're seeing a lot more at the moment. And I think it's because of COVID and being in our bedrooms more doing our work. Lots of people are sitting on their bed to do their work. So, all of those different things have a massive impact on kind of pairing our bed with being awake. So then when you get into bed at night, you kind of get into bed and your body kind of goes, oh, okay, I'm meant to be awake. So it sort of switches off, and it's like you're not tired anymore, and you're starting to think about things, and you're starting to do other things. So there's kind of those three main systems in place, really. So I wanted to give you these tips about what to do about it. You've kind of understood a little bit, hopefully, around kind of things that you're doing that maybe not so helpful. Tip one is about not going to bed early. We all think, don't we, that going to bed, if we're really tired, why don't we just go to bed early? It's actually so counterintuitive. It creates that social jet lag I was just talking about. So we're also not necessarily ready for bed. So if we do go to bed and we go to sleep quite quickly, we then wake in the night because we're sort of had our allocated time of sleep. So don't go to bed early. Tip two is only go to bed when you're sleepy. So if you're sleepy, you've achieved the full balloon, and therefore you're more likely to sleep. So if you go to bed and you don't feel sleepy, then you'll release a little bit of the balloon, and again, you're more likely to wake during the night. So tip three, if it feels like you've been in bed for a long time, get up. So this one again feels very counterintuitive, doesn't it? But by laying in bed, clock watching, worrying, struggling to think about sleep, it creates more anxiety, and then you stop sleeping because you're laying in bed clock watching. Oh my goodness me, it's 2:00 in the morning and I'm still awake. I've got to get up in the morning, and all of those things that we tell ourselves. So get out of bed if you've been in bed for too long. Find somewhere else that you can go, just relax for a bit. And it creates a bit of a reset. Even if you just get up and go to the loo, or you get up and go for a drink or something and then get back into bed, it causes that reset, and that's what really helps. Tip four, so only use your bed for sleep and for sex. So any other wakeful activities you do in bed, just stop all of that stuff. It's just pairing your bed with being awake, and that's perpetuating everything. Some other people can manage to do that if they don't have a sleep problem, but if you're struggling with your sleep, please try not to do that, because that's the bit that kind of causes us to struggle with our sleep at night. So and tip five is kind of wind down before bed. So find a time in the day to write the to-do list and do all the planning. Don't do this in bed. So this was me, and still is me sometimes. I have to really notice it and do it myself, because I get into bed and I'm like, right, I need to do this, I need to do that. I kind of process my day, and then I think about all the things I need to do the next day. So kind of making a bit of time during the day before bed to do those things, then start thinking about that at night time. I've got a great little piece of a great bonus for you to think about with that as well, which will really help you. Like I said at the beginning, the bonus announcement is here. So I hope that I have given you enough information, you've learned something about your sleep problem today. And I'm wondering if you have motivation to change and you're not sure how. So I hope you found it helpful today. I can help you if you want to go further and really start to unpick your sleeping issues. So starting the week of the 19th of April, I'm offering a step-by-step CBTI Sleep Well, Feel Better 8-week program. There'll be educational videos on an app that you can work through in your own time. You'll get weekly coaching contact to ensure that you stay on track and are accountable for your changes. You'll learn more about the 2 main approaches and how to implement this into your sleep routine. You'll learn how to calm your racing mind. You'll learn how to schedule everything into your week for success. Calculate your bespoke time in bed prescription to increase your quality of sleep. So, I bet you're fed up of not sleeping well. You want to improve your memory and concentration, and you're craving being refreshed and full of energy. You're ready to make changes and commit to taking action. This is definitely for you. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but what if it doesn't work for me? You know what? I thought this isn't going to work for me. I've been struggling for years, and I honestly thought I just wasn't meant to go to sleep and feel refreshed. I just thought that was what other people experienced, and not now. Now I can guarantee you that it works. I've gone through it myself. I can't guarantee that you'll sleep perfectly, but what I can guarantee is that if you put the effort in and you're motivated, there'll definitely be some. I know that you might be worried about your time commitment. Most of the course content you can access at your own time, so you don't have to kind of follow it through with me. You can do it at your own pace when it suits you. If you want one-to-one, we can find a time that suits both of us. And if you want group work, I'll be as flexible as possible. And there'll always be an opportunity to catch up as well. Worried about money, I've made this affordable so that you can get everything you need without paying for individual sessions. Individual therapeutic sessions can be quite costly. So this course should hopefully alleviate that. I wanted to share some testimonials with you. People that I've been working with over the years have really kindly put some things together about sort of some of the things that they've found helpful. So that has really helped me with my sleep. I used to be unable to switch off and would overthink. It used to take me a long time to fall asleep. Now I fall asleep within 30 minutes. That's really powerful, isn't it? I was the same. I really struggled. And now on the whole, I do fall asleep within 30 minutes as well. And I think, that's pretty incredible. If you think from where you are now, you're probably taking a good hour or so to get to sleep. It's amazing just to be able to get your head on the pillow and know that you'll be asleep fairly quickly. It's just life-changing, really. I feel a lot more able to deal with things. Just give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? These are all clients that I've been working with that have been really struggling with various different things and have actually managed to make some real positive shifts in their life. The guided meditations, creative visualizations in particular, have really helped me through my working day to stay grounded. Again, another fantastic client who really struggled with some anxiety and really helped, found that the visualizations really helped us to kind of calm her. Claire is professional, engaging and very knowledgeable. I would highly recommend her. Claire has been a great help getting our son to sleep through the night and overcome his anxiety nightmares. He has now slept through without us for the first time in his life. Whilst that's a bit of a red herring there with a child, I did want to say that this approach does work with people of all ages. It is geared for adults, but it just goes to show that when you work on the causes of what the sleep problems are, like often sort of resolves itself as well. So sometimes by resolving the actual impact of what you're worrying about and the problem with sleep, it does help to resolve the sleep as well. But I find that it's quite interesting doing it the other way around. This is quite new to me, doing it this way around, and I'm finding it really interesting seeing people actually working on their sleep and then it impacting on their other issues. So it all kind of connects, doesn't it? And I think if we can work on our mindset and work on shifting a lot of the stuff, then everything else in our life seems to fall into place. I wanted to give you a case study. So I've been working with a client who's really struggled with their sleep for years. They experienced a traumatic life event and suffered from a lot of nightmares and anxiety as a result. I've always worked on the causes of sleep, so usually the trauma and the anxiety on its own. Whilst undertaking this work, I also offered them sleep diaries and undertook the CBTI approach with them. They went from sleeping an average of 3 to 4 hours a night to sleeping around 6 hours in a matter weeks. They found the sleep diaries really helpful as a way of keeping accountable and being able to control the sleep, as they said they felt that they had become very out of control. We worked on some vivid, persistent nightmares they had utilising trauma-based approaches, and they reported not only that these nightmares didn't come back, but that the dreams, they had dreams about positive things which they hadn't had in years. So I think that's just a really powerful kind of case study I wanted to share with you. I bet you're all asking how it's going to be, right? So what I wanted to do is to make it really affordable, given the current climate. I know lots of people have lost their jobs. I know there's been loads of stuff going on and people are probably finding money tight at the moment. So there are 2 blocks of prices here. There's an early bird price, which is up until Friday the 9th of April, which is £179 for a group programme, which is an 8-week group coaching, maximum of 6 to 8 people. And that's support from the group looking at sleep diaries as well as the support from me. So you get everything in the app, and then you get group coaching program. So you have a group coaching weekly call, and it's much easier to talk about someone else's sleep habits than our own. So quite often when we're going through the group process, we'll pick up things that we go, oh yeah, I do that. Or if somebody else sort of says, oh, maybe you could do this, you go, oh yeah, actually I could do that. So the group is a really, really positive, fun way of looking at this stuff. Obviously everything said within the group space will be confidential as well, so you're not going to have people going off and telling your story to everybody else out there as well. So that's really important to be aware of. Or if you prefer to do it one-to-one, I'm offering a reduced rate from £860 down to £640 for the one-to-one support. And that is where I would basically take you through on a one-to-one basis, looking at your sleep diaries and working it out for you. I'm offering 3 spaces for that. So so get involved. After Friday, the prices go up. So, and there has been quite a lot of interest already. So get yourselves involved if you're interested. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be life-changing. It's the first time I've run this program, so I'm really excited that I can share it with you. And I really want to make a difference for you. So, you can control your sleep. You can make a difference and improve it. It isn't something you should just put up with. So I just wanted to really drill that down to you. Even if you don't come with me and do the journey with me, get some support, go to your GP, get some support for it, because it is stuff that you can make a change with. Don't accept it. So thinking about the course, everyone loves a freebie, right? So if you sign up, you also get full access to the 4-day sleep challenge that I mentioned the other day, earlier on. It's in my Facebook group. You can explore your sleep goals, you get access to some sleep diaries, and you can focus on what you really want to achieve. So, do get involved in that. There's also a digital journal to switch off your mind. So a really good way of journaling to unwind at the end of the night, and planning the next one that we don't at sleep time. There's a reflective workbook, because do you know what, everyone just needs self-care, and self-care is so important. And I'm also giving away a progressive relaxation to help you get off to sleep. So there's all this stuff available for you. You need to sign up and just allow that quality restful sleep to come, because it will come. So if you're interested, have a look at the link below and get more information and book in. So once you sign in, it will take you to an email where you then request which program you want, and then you can speak to me directly if you want to. So there's lots of different options, but yeah, if you go through to the landing page that is just below here, that will take you through the process of setting you up. If you're on the fence, feel free to book a call to see how I can help you. I want to be able to help you. And it might not be right for you. It's not right for everybody, but you know what? I think it will be. I think, it helps with so many different people's sleep issues. So, if you're worried about it and you're not sure about it, give me a call. Let's see if we can help. So that is all I wanted to share with you today. So I hope it's been helpful. I hope you've learned quite a lot about sleep and what's going on for you. And yeah, and it's been really lovely chatting with you. Do drop me a message. Do jump into my Facebook group because there's loads of stuff that I put in there anyway about tips and tricks around well-being. Get just get involved. I'd love to have you in part of my community. Okay, it's been great talking to you. Just a reminder again, my name is Claire Elms, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye bye.